Hey folks, welcome to the second episode of the Poor Man Gamer Show. Normally, when you play a golf video game, the only fantasies you have are the ones where you're playing on the greatest courses in the country, and the other where you make so much money playing golf that you can spend millions on affairs and your wife not notice that much money is missing. Until she does. And then you start sucking at your sport and lose all your endorsements. But we're not here today to talk about crusty old Tiger Woods. Instead, we're talking about real fantasy golf with dragons and magic. That's right. Today I'm reviewing Pangya Fantasy Golf for the PSP. Pangya Fantasy Golf, or maybe Fantasy Golf Pangya, is a casual golf simulation game. It's a port of a Korean online golf game simply called Pangya, though until 2009, the series was known as Albatross 18 here in North America. In terms of story and gameplay, the PSP game is largely based on the third season of the PC title. However, there are some significant differences in certain game mechanics, which I will cover later. When you start up the game, you're treated to an amazing looking music video featuring all the characters with some singing and very nice animation with the character models. Enjoy this opening, because it's the only animated cutscene besides the match ending poses. It's odd, because there are parts of the story I would really like to have seen animated. Since Pangya Fantasy Golf is essentially a regular golf game with a story mode attached, let's see what we got here. A long time ago, before the game of Pangya, a great shadow had been cast over the lands. Pangya Island, once peaceful and vivacious, had been sapped of its energy and life by an evil force. The great evil. They play golf. This crawl goes on for a minute or two, so long story short, the island was once saved from a dark evil by using spiritual Aztecs, golf balls, and magical tools, golf clubs. They turned it into a game called Pangya and hold a tournament to celebrate. They bring humans from Earth to play, and during this tournament, the evil power from before is trying to return. To be honest, it's a simple story with no surprises. Every conversation ends with either a one-on-one match, a tournament, a score challenge, or a training mission. Because there are no voiceovers or animated cutscenes, and every dialogue box must be advanced manually, you can spend minutes just pressing X until you get to the next piece of gameplay. The return and defeat of this ancient evil plays out over 2 episodes in an epilogue. The events unfold as a cast of colorful, anime-inspired characters play against each other. You have your stereotypical teenage boy who saves the world, his aggressive childhood friend with a secret crush, a balding middle-aged man, a pretty boy, 2 sexy 20-somethings, a dark emo kid, and of course, some lolicon. Because you know, Japan! Though the cast could have been created with a random animated character generator, the dialogue between them is genuinely funny, like Uncle Bob's obsession with Cecilia, or his love of fried chicken. Every character has different core stats, so playing each part of the story can be a challenge because the way you play will vary based on that character's strengths. However, since this game is part of a series of games, some of the stories don't get full resolutions. For example, in her story, Ku the pirate is searching for her dad, who will hopefully tell her to put on some damn clothes. By the end of the game, however, all she finds is a set of golf clubs her dad left for her with one of his friends. Because abandoning your child is fine, as long as you leave them cryptic clues and mementos. Similarly, her caddy, the flying whale thing Delfino, is looking for his mom, and that plot line doesn't get advanced at all in the game. These plot points are probably being saved for future games, and truthfully, is something I didn't even notice until I started writing this review, and realized how much of the story went unresolved. Ever since the first golf video game, Golf on the Magnavox Odyssey in 1979, most games have used a system where you essentially aim and press a button at the right time to choose the power of your shot. Pangya has the same basic mechanic. You press once to start your swing, a second time to select the power, and a third time to determine your accuracy. If you get the marker within the white area of the gauge, you do a Pangya shot, which gives you bonus points and increases the odds the balls will land where you aimed. One annoying difference from Pangya and other games is how the accuracy works. If you missed a Pangya shot but end up in the pink area, your shot will veer off a little, which is fine. But if you're out of the pink area, you missed a stroke entirely. For example, it will say that you managed to hit the tee, but the ball stayed in the same place. I don't play a lot or any golf in real life, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible to hit the tee without hitting the ball, or for the ball to just stay there. In most games, The worse your accuracy, the worse the shot will be. But to say that you somehow missed the ball entirely is really annoying, especially since this never happens to the computer. Pangya also has a power boost and trick shot system. You have your basic top spinning and back spinning shots, though they require a Pangya shot to use, and there are some impossible specialties like the tomahawk shot and the cobra shot. You can only use these specialty shots with a boost, and that's frustrating for two reasons. First, since you can only use these specialty shots when you've built up enough boost, you can never use them on the first hole of a match unless you have a potion. Second, using the boost cuts the pink area on the accuracy gauge. You can only do the trick shot if you get a Pangya anyway, but by cutting the pink area, it increases the risk of missing the shot entirely. The same is true for the top spin and back spinning shots. It only requires a Pangya shot, but if you plan on backspin but don't get that perfect hit, your shot's going to roll into the rough or bunker. I found that it wasn't worth trying the boost or special shots unless absolutely necessary. It wasn't worth the risk, especially against higher AI levels. The fantasy element really shines in things like the club sets, costumes, and courses. As a game set in a fantasy land, the courses have features that you would never see, thankfully, on a real course. Certain parts of later courses feel like downright bullshit, like this zigzag course with lava pits. The club sets are also cartoony. One club set is made of medieval weapons, another with common household supplies like a broom. There's also enough variety in the club stats that each player can choose based on their own skills and what they need for the character they're using. The costumes add some variety and something to do with the points you earn, but they don't enhance your player stats, which is different from the PC version where clothing gave player bonuses. In fact, the only thing clothing does in the PSP version is give you extra pang for the first round you wear them in. The bonus never covers the cost of the item, so it's hardly worth doing. However, you can unlock a few helpful things by buying items, like a bigger bag for carrying power-ups. Besides the story mode, there are also challenges for each course. Completing these gain the player bonus items and unlockables, like different Aztecs, golf balls, or rings with better attributes. There even appear to be some additional club sets available, but I don't know how to get those yet. There's also a tournament mode. One of the things I liked about this game is the way they utilized the PSP for ad hoc play. Assuming you had 7 friends who had the game and wanted to do a tournament, you would all play at once. Each person's shot is shown as a real-time moving marker on the course as the others play. This feature, or something similar, is available on most online golf games, but the PSP makes it possible to do even when playing with someone in the same room. Which brings up the point, the PC version requires you to be online, while the PSP version doesn't. I really enjoyed Pangya Fantasy Golf for the PSP. The characters give the game its charm, and the mechanics are a good mixture of fun and challenge. The game can be found for under $3, but if you want a box and cover art, you're better off searching online, because most GameStop stores no longer have the cases for their PSP and regular DS games. Seriously, I love GameStop, but their policy of discarding cases for older games is freaking insane. Pangya Fantasy Golf is a great portable golf game with a lot of replayability. If you're looking for good titles on the PSP and you like golf, buy it. And if you like the idea of Pangya but don't have a PSP, you can actually play online for free on the Game Rage website. This version has additional courses, new characters, and some other changed mechanics. It's worth checking out for PC golf players looking for something a little different. A mobile version of this series was announced in late 2014, so we may be seeing Pangya on iOS and Android soon. Until next time, I'm the Poor Man Gamer, and remember, a cheap, obscure title today could become a hidden gem tomorrow.